All right, the season just ended, so we got a new season going on here. I got my rewards. I got my vault full, so I got the wild cards I need to finish off this new version of my Winota deck. And this one is extra spicy. We're doing some crazy stuff here. So of course we have Winota here. I know I kept saying what was the best card, the best creature to flip into with Winota, and I have a new one. It's Outfitted Jouster. You probably don't know this card. It's a one of the alchemy only cards. It says it's a 2/2, but it's not a 2/2. It's a 6/6 with trample because it comes into play and then it conjures two equipment and it attaches it to it, making it a 6/6 with trample, which is pretty fantastic. Another alchemy only card is this Junkyard Scrapper. Whenever an artifact comes into play, you it doesn't use the word seek, but you exile an artifact of lesser value and then you can play it. So when Outfitted Jouster comes into play, this is going to go get two more artifacts that are going to be cheaper. Couple key things going on here. Chalice of the Void. Chalice of the Void on 1 shuts down a ton of decks. Like, so many decks are playing so many things that cost 1. If you notice though, we are playing nothing. So there's never a hesitation to play this on 1. The goal is pretty much to mulligan to have this. So at turn 2, you go Chalice of the Void on 1. There's some ways you can get a Chalice of the Void on 1 on turn 1, but like that's like pie in the sky kind of thing. We're also running Thorn of Amethyst here, because same idea. There's just so many non-creatures, and the only non-creatures we're running is Thorn of Amethyst, 1 Tormod's Crypt, but that's kind of it's not always going to be a non-creature. I'll get to that in a second. And that's it. It's the Thorn of Amethyst. We also have a Thalia, because Thalia is fantastic. Obviously, Bowmaster is going to hit her, but I'm seeing a lot less Bowmaster and seeing a lot more of like Turbo Necro, and Thalia is pretty good against that. And Arclight Phoenix decks, she's pretty good against it, and she's another human for Winota to flip into, so she's pretty good there. All right, some of the weird cards in here. Jan Jansen. He is super interesting in this deck because what he's going to do is he's going to be able to turn all of our artifact creatures into treasures. More importantly here, let's go up here actually, is Sai. So if you notice, this is an artifact deck. It's basically like all artifacts, like all the way down. So anytime we play an artifact, Sai is going to create a Thopter. Thopters are going to attack. They're going to flip Winota triggers. So this is phenomenal. I don't want to run more than 1 because I don't want to be hitting a bunch of them. The goal is to kind of get them off of a Winota. But this one is super fantastic. Love it. And then Jan Jansen can turn Thopters into treasures. He can turn treasures into creatures. Like, this guy is pretty great. The other interesting one of legend in the deck is Goro Goro and Satoru. This might seem a little weird, but I've gone back and forth on a bunch of different cards in this specific slot, but here's where I wound up on this one. It's 3/4. You can't bolt it. So it's already like at a bolt range, which is pretty fantastic. And if you read this ability, this is with Winota. A creature entering the battlefield and dealing combat damage, that's with Winota. The other thing it works really good with is Ninjutsu. So I'm running 4 Swarm Saboteur. I've gone back and forth on this one also, but the other great thing like about Swarm Saboteur is that it's going to create Virus Beetles, which are artifacts. So I can play artifacts, which is going to trigger Junkyard Scrapper, which is going to trigger Sai, which Jan Jansen can turn into treasures. Like, there's a lot of like weird synergies going on here. Other weird synergy is Cogwork Progenitor. First when I built this deck, I had 4. I'm down to 2. If Aethersworn Canonist existed in this deck, I would run this. But I just want to dig hard to try to get Chalice and to try to get Thorn of Amethyst. If I can get Chalice on 1, and then I can get Chalice on 3, that pretty much locks everyone out. Like, they're kind of stuck. And I have 3s, but most of the 3s that I'm going to get, I want to get off of Winota. Like, I have the Junkyard Scrapper. But that's kind of late game. That's to, like, stop the Necro. That's to, like, stop, pretty much the Necro is really the thing I'm super concerned of. So if I can get that down, if I can also get it up to 4, then it really, like, works great. But, like, that's super, like, pie in the sky to have, like, 8 mana available to be able to play this. But if you can, that's pretty fantastic, because then you're turning off tendrils, you're turning off natural order, you're turning off a lot of like haymaker, like sneak attacks, like all that kind of crazy stuff. But you know, one is the key there. So Cogwork Progenitor is going to be able to take an artifact either in your graveyard or in play, and then go and seek another artifact. But it turns that artifact into a creature, so that's kind of the one Tormod's Crypt. So Junkyard Scrapper can get us the Tormod's Crypt, which could be useful. You know, Arc-Light Phoenix, stuff like that. This could be useful. Cogwork can get it and then turn it into a 1/1. Cogwork can also get Darksteel Citadel and turn this into a 1/1. So now it's a Dryad Arbor, and it's a Dryad Arbor with Indestructible. So it can stand there and block. It can keep attacking. It's pretty fantastic. I'm also running one of, and this is a new addition in just the last couple of rounds I tried with this, one Antique Collector. I think this card is absolutely phenomenal. It works really well with Swarm Saboteur since it can get in. It's a human that can flip off of Winota. But the big thing is that it creates clues. It creates artifact tokens. We saw there's a 2 mana cost black one of these coming up in Murders at Karloff Manor, and it only triggers once. It only triggers once, which is indicative of how strong this is, because this doesn't just trigger once. This perpetually gives this to all of your creatures. So if you give this to your creatures and then this dies, they will forever have the ability to go and create clue tokens, and also they get shuffled back into your library, which can be super fantastic if you have ways to go search them up. So I'm running a 1-of. It also can't be blocked, which that works with Swarm Saboteur. So there's just a lot of like weird, strange things going on in this deck. I've tried a couple games. It's been pretty successful, but as I said, the goal is to get to Mythic. So I'm going to see if I can ride this deck to Mythic, or, you know, make a couple changes here and there. But the core of this deck is great. And I don't think Murders of Markov is going to add anything, or Karloff? Karloff? I think it's Karloff. Other than there's that one other clue land, which I might swap the Tormod's Crypt for the clue land, because then you have a creature that you can just sack all the time without even having to tap it, which is pretty fantastic. So you can play it, sack it, play it, sack it, play it, sack it, play it, sack it, which is pretty great. But no, this deck has been working pretty good. Mana base is a hot mess because we're trying to run like every color. So we have 4 Spire of Industry, 4 Mana Confluence, Great Hall of the Citadel. If you've watched any of my previous content, I was super high on this card because it's going to help play Legends and get them out a little bit faster if you're generating colorless mana in like CEDH. It's pretty good here because being able to convert colorless mana into 2 colors can get us out Winota, it can get us out Jan Jansen, Gorogoro, Sai. Like there's a lot of like the Thalia. We can convert some of this colorless mana into that. 2 Ancient Ziggurats because our creature colors are all over the place. 1 Plains so that we can't get Blood Mooned out. So if we see red, we go and fetch for the Plains. So then even if we get Blood Mooned, all we gotta do is drop Winota and then we just swing for the win. So that works pretty good. Jan Jansen can also help us avoid getting Blood Mooned out if he can get out first. So this is the deck. It's been working pretty good, but let's see if we can get this thing to Mythic. Let's do this. The new season, I'm starting off in gold, so got a little bit of a climb to get all the way up to Mythic, but I think we can do it. I think we can do it. We got a strong deck here, and we got some time, and we got the dedication. So I might, unless the alchemy cards for Murders of Markov are super fantastic, I'm gonna try to play just Timeless for the next little while. That Sai is super interesting here. This hand is not super great about trying to stop anything, but if I draw Winota, I can do some pretty crazy stuff here, but I can't slow my opponent down. I think I'm gonna mulligan. I'd like to have something. Okay, I got a Thorn. Okay, and then throw the Jaster back. Okay, we're in decent shape. Sacred Foundry. Let's see what we're up against. This might be enough to just buy us the time that we need. Stitcher Supplier. It's Delve. That might slow them down a little bit, but let's see. Let's see what that can do here. Otherworld, okay. You know, it's costing them more. This should buy me a couple turns. You know, Scrapper next turn, Winota the next. Like, not explosive, but it's... Ooh, that's pretty good. I think I need... Oh, I need a Blood Crypt here, right? Well, I have this Fire of Industry also. I'll go get a Blood Crypt, though. Except I don't run a Blood Crypt. Fantastic. Good playing. Good work. Godless Shrine, pay 2 life. Okay. Get the Junkyard Scrapper in here. I think I go Winota. I think that's just my next play. Like, okay. I guess the Throne of Amethyst was good enough in that situation to slow them down. So I will take that. That works for me. That's also another reason why there's just the one Tormod's Crypt, because there are enough graveyard heavy decks that sometimes you run into it. So it's good to have it, and I have enough ways to tutor it up that I can fairly reliably in best of one get it if need be. At least not get like absolutely blown out. Okay, this looks like a pretty phenomenal hand here. We got Chalice, we got Thorn. Thorn goes first. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what happens here. The other good thing about Outfitted Jouster is that it's a 4-drop. It's not bad. Like, as opposed to, you see a lot of like Winota decks where they're running the Thief guy who costs 7, and then the jeez. And then like the Werewolf Caretaker who costs like 8. Does Caretaker cost 8? I think Caretaker costs 8. So it's like, you know, there's something to be said about... I think I go Godless Shrine. Yeah, Godless Shrine. Save myself the life. Play the Ornithopter. They can at least stand there and block the Channeler for a second. Got another Lure Sec here. Alright, Lightning Bolt, sure. Another reason for the Psy is because of like Dragon's Rage Channeler, like the ability to just keep pumping out whatchamacallit? Pumping out Thopters that could be blockers is pretty good also. Chalice for 1. And there's the scoop. Turn 2 Chalice for 1 wins the game. So, yeah, no, it's pretty strong, and a lot of people don't have a good way to get around it. Like, in that deck, we were just playing, I don't know, they play anything that's not a 1-drop. Like, it literally might be the whole deck other than Mishra's Bauble. Like, every other card might be a 1-drop, because you got Dragon's Rage Channeler and Thoughtseize and Fatal Push and Ragavan and Deathrite Shaman and Lightning Bolt and like Inquisition. Like, that's that whole deck. I mean, it's fast and I'm first. It's really tempting. Let's try it. Let's see what we do with a more Winota centric deck here, or Winota centric hand. I can also cast the Goro. Like, that's pretty wild when you think about that. Ornithopter. Let's see what happens here. Thoughtseize, that's brutal. That's brutal. You gotta take the Winota, right? There's probably reading with the Goro there. Yeah, you take the Winota. Okay. I mean, we could still get Goro out next turn, so I think we're okay. So the other thing, if you're not super familiar with this card, because I wasn't familiar with this card until I just happened to find it, it can give creatures haste. So that's the trick. Is that like you get them out. So to play it like fairly, you play it. Oh, that's gonna be pretty good. Spire of Industry. I think Goro Goro. So you play it, and then you can play a creature, and then give it haste, and then swing, and then you get the dragon. And you know, a 5/5 dragon's nothing to like scoff at. That's pretty fantastic. And as I said, he's a 3/4, so he can't get bolted. He costs 3, so he can't get easily fatal push. Like he might be getting fatal push right here, but not super easy. Let's see if I can get a 5/5 dragon. If I can get a 5/5 dragon, I'll be in pretty good shape. Okay, that is not a fatal push. You are not a fatal push, sir. That is not a fatal push either. Is he gonna survive? I think he is. Wow. Okay. He's got trample, so right. I need to get him in there. He needs to connect. So I need to be able to pay. Do I want to sack my Ornithopter? Okay, so it's going to cost 2. So 1, 2. If he's a 2/2, he'll get blocked. But if he's a 3/3, he won't. Yeah, I hate to do it. Like, I don't want to lose an Ornithopter, but I've already lost a... I know... Can he connect? Can the Stone Coil Serpent connect? Sheoldred's Edict. I'll drop this guy for sure. We're in. I think we're getting in. Go team. Take 6. Make a 5/5 dragon. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Like, I have lethal on board. The Stone Coil Serpent being like protected from multicolored is kind of a non-issue constantly. Oh, what do I do here? Make me sack?
Nobody knows.
I think I sack the Stone Coil, right? Because if I draw something else, I can get myself another dragon. Draw. Swinging in with the Stalactite. Okay. I mean, that's a pretty bold move. They know what I'm drawing, so it must not be a creature. That's a creature. If I sack this, I get... It wouldn't have haste. I'd get a fresh dragon, but what would that get me? I don't think that gets me anything. Other than I have a 6/6 trample. But I lose my 5/5, right? Yeah, I don't think that gets me anything. Do I even care about... I don't even think I care about Liliana. I think I just go for it. I got a 6/6 and a 5/5. I think I just... You know, they gotta block the Goro Goro. And then there's a 6/6 running around and I have no hand. So they can't even... Their Liliana's not going to get us anywhere? Sure. Okay, right? Like, it would have been nice to get a second dragon, but I don't think there's a dragon in there. Could I have done something here? No. I'm like, was there some weird trick where I could have equipped the equipment to the dragon or something? Sheoldred. Okay, that's not... that's not going to get there. So, you know... I can't remember what was in that Goro Goro spot before, but it wasn't something that could have done that. It was like something else that created tokens, I think it was. I think it was the Elephant Artificer, who when he attacks you get a 1/1. Like, but this, you get the dragon, and stuff like that happens. So, that's, you know, they took the Winota, and I had the Goro Goro and Satoru, so... I don't know. I like games like that. That makes it worth it in my mind. So we'll see. We'll see if that changes or if anything comes along and I wind up making a switch for that. That's one of those weird like flex spots right now. Boy, this hand is weird. I'm gonna keep it because I can get the chalice and I'm going first, but boy, is this hand weird. Alright, we'll go land chalice. But not being able to like ninjutsu this guy. And this guy's a lot better when he's a 2-2 for 1 and not a 2-2 for 2, but let's see. You know, it's another Loris deck. There at the Dragon Rage Channeler, like it's all humans though. Like this is like a terrible turnout of humans, but let's see how bad this shuts them down. Let's see which version of this deck they're playing. Alright, there's the scoop again. Man, that deck just cannot handle the chalice. Like that's all they had. Like obviously they conceded, but that hand was not was not very good. But that chalice is pretty fantastic. I think it's severely underplayed in this format because mana cost 1 is everything other than the natural order deck. Every single deck is just 1 mana cost spells all the way down, like 50 to 75% or more. So if you can get that, if you can get a turn, if you can go first and then turn 2 you get that, like all you need to do is have a way to turn the corner, and this deck has Winota, and Winota will eventually turn the corner. Like they're not going to be able to play enough things to be able to handle stuff. Like here we go again. Like this is another crap hand. Like the Thalia's not bad. The outfit, you know, here's a good example where can you imagine if this was 2 Avabrook caretakers? This hand would be atrocious, and you couldn't keep it at all. But because they cost 4, maybe. Like they're 6/6 for 4. Like I have 3 mana already. You know, turn 1. We'll do turn 2 Chalice. Turn 3 Winota. Turn 4 Fanatical Firebrand coming in. So let's see what happens. Thalia's not super good against this Firebrand, but we can cross that bridge later. I mean, it would make them have to deal with it. They'd have to hit the Thalia with it. I can also play the Snake next turn. Snake for 3 might be the better play. Or an Ornithopter, pretty good. Man, they are at 1 mana and have nothing to do. Do I play the Thalia? I think I go Snake. This is a race I can win. Okay. So this is now 3 games that I've won by just having a turn 2 Chalice. We're already climbing up the ranks. We're already in Platinum here. I also love Timeless because the games are nice and quick. But Chalice of the Void, when I realized that was legal in this format, it's like, I need to build a deck that plays Chalice of the Void. And it needs to be on 1. So those were the 2 deck requirements. And then it was like, well, what can search it up? And that artifact, that red artifact goblin guy, like I remembered that existed because that was always on my radar. I was just like, this guy is phenomenal. Like it tutors, like it searches for, it gets you free cards like that. This is phenomenal. So you just need something to work around it, and then you have the cheap artifact creatures, so those are good for Winota because they're all non-humans. And then the deck just kind of like fell into place from there. Like, you know, I absolutely forced it to be a Winota deck, but it seems to be doing all right. Granted, we haven't won a single game with a Winota swing, but she's super scary. So if people see it in my hand, they have to get rid of it. But you know, maybe we'll get a game in this session where we actually get Winota on the board and we actually get to trigger Winota. I also thought of running Ishin in place of Goro, but that's only going to trigger on Winota, and that felt like overkill, but that was also on my radar. Another Loris deck. I think I got a mulligan for the Chalice. There we go. Keep 6. God, I kind of want to keep that Crypt. I have no answers if my opponent does anything, but that crypt would be nice. The thorn would be nice also. But I think if I have the chalice, it won't matter. This is a risky move here. Let's do this. Let's try it. Because I wanted to keep the 2 chalices in case I get turn 1 thought seized. Because if I get turn 1 thought seized, then I'm pretty screwed. Okay, I'm missing my whatchamacallit right now. It's also a very painful hand right now. I kind of want to wait to play these so I can get the benefit off of the Psy. But I also kind of want to run out an Ornithopter to see if I can at least get a burn spell off my face. Let's try running at the Ornithopter and see what happens here. So let's see what they say about that. Because if they commit to doing something to that Ornithopter because they think that I'm doing something scary, because this is a pretty scary opener. If you have seen nothing, you just see Mana Confluence Ornithopter. Like, I could very well be going into some type of Necro combo. Like, this could very well be that. Okay, let's get this out here and let's see what this does. Now I'm really glad that I held on to that crypt for the for Psy, because I can start getting some Thopters, which I am desperately going to need, I think. So we need to draw some lands. We're by no means are we not safe, because we got Kumano and Soulscar here. So we're not in great shape. Like, we can stabilize, but not amazingly easily. Psy's also big, like, he's a 1/4. Okay, just throwing stuff into the chalice of the void here. Psy being a 1/4 is pretty phenomenal also. Once again, he can't be burned, he can't be bolted, and he can just stand there and, like, make decent blocks. And once you have the chalice, okay, we're triggering the Soulscar. Like, not the worst thing in the world. Alright. We are, okay. Okay, Psy. Crypt. Get a Thopter. Chalice on 0. 2 Thopters. Okay. We're not dead. We've kind of stabilized here a little bit. We're not winning yet, but man, drawing a land and being able to play with Noda is going to be pretty phenomenal next turn. I don't think they could burn anything, so I think I can just make a block, right? Make a block. Are they playing Skewer the Critics? And do I care? Or Searing Blood? Electrostatic Bolt. That was a bit of a surprise. Okay. I mean, I still stand by this block. I'm missing... I'm gonna miss Psy for sure, but Psy doesn't trigger Winota. The Thopters do. So this represents 2 Winota flips. The other one represented 1 if I would have thrown a Thopter, but now I get 2. So see what happens here. I had a pretty solid flip here, because I'm looking at 4 damage. Do I swing with both? Well, I guess I have Winota back to block. That's a dangerous game, though. Whew. Antique Collector, I think. I think I need someone back to block, as tempting as that is. Jaster. There we go. Okay, now I am representing lethal on the board. And I got a Winota, so I don't even if Winota dies, I can still electrostatic charge. Oh my lord, how much does that deal? Oh, why'd they lose those? Play with fire, okay. Why'd they lose that electrostatic blast? Okay. Woo! Chalice Chalice at the Void wins another game. Wait, no, but that's what I'm talking about. This game was a prime example of what this deck can do. Like, yes, Chalice is good at slowing people down, but it doesn't always outright win the game. But Winota makes the deck turn the corner. And it did. I dealt 6, 8, 9, 10. 10 damage in a single turn with Winota. So, and I had 2 Chalices out. So that's what this deck is intended to do. Is that you stall them out for the first couple turns because you can't outrace them. Like, and that's been the thing that I have noticed. And the issue I had with my previous Winota builds is that I kept trying to outrace the format, and it couldn't. Like, Winota's fast, but she's not that fast. Because a lot of times everything would just die. Like, there's so much removal. There's so much removal that you would play a creature, it would get Fatal Push, you'd play a creature, Bowmasters would get it. So by the time you get Winota out, you only have 1 creature, and then if you whiff on that 1 swing, like, that's it. Like, you're toast. Like, you just played a bunch of, like, colony gardens and stuff. Like, granted, I'm not playing, like, heavy hitting creatures here, but it's the stalling. It's the stacks. Like, just like in CEDH, it's the stacks that's buying you time. Except here, turning the corner is just being able to deal 20 damage to one person and not having to deal 80 damage to a table. I guess it would be actually 40, 80, 120 damage. So this hand doesn't look good. Okay, no Lurrus here. We have a Thorn. We have a Thorn of Amethyst. Maybe? I think I throw out the Jouster because I'd rather get the Jouster off of a Winota than try to play it on turn 4. There's all kinds of weird, goofy synergies going on with this opening hand that I'm not even sure quite what I want to do. But I think I do Blood Crypt into Snake. So I'm going to try to... Let's see what my opponent does. Merfolk. I don't even know what to say right now. Merfolk. As long as you control another Merfolk or an island. I don't know if that Thorn of Amethyst is going to be very good right now. What do you think? Do they block? Snake back. Spire's pretty good. This is probably the best land in the deck because for the colorless, it works pretty good. Okay. Oh boy, that Chalice on 1 looks pretty good, doesn't it, right now? I guess I'm gonna swing with the Saboteur. You got something? Merfolk Trickster. Okay. I mean, sure. No attacks. They have 3 cards. Do I want the Virus Beetle or do I want to try to keep them off of 1-drops? I think I do this. Like, I'm staring down some damage here, but let's see. But the Saboteur's not dead. He's just tapped, and if he can connect again, so it's pretty aggressive to be swinging in with guys. Like, obviously, yeah, sure. Take 3. This is an interesting one. This you're not very good here, Thalia. I mean, let's try it again. I think they got to make the block, right? Yeah, make the block. I mean, I'll take it. It's a trade. They only got 2 cards. I think I go Virus Beetle, right? This is a bad synergy though, because if they're holding a 1-drop, they just ditch the 1. Nope. They discarded Beseju? Okay. What's in my graveyard? That. Snaky. Virus Beetle. I draw some lands. Like, we're hurting here, land-wise. I think I exile the beetle. I really don't want to. Because there are Simic Merfolk, so I think I want to be able to keep this guy back to block. I can't remember what they are, but I know there's some that are halfway decent. Let's see what I get here. This could get me a land. I mean, it gets me a crypt. I mean, it's a Memnite now. Like, it's a 0-cost 1/1, which, if I can get my way up to Thalia, would be pretty good. Or get my way up to Winota would be pretty good. 2 Winotas. Feeling good. Pretty hilarious. Thorn? Thalia? I kind of like Thalia because she can block. This is a goofy game. Collected Company. Okay. Super glad I kept this guy around. Did you lose abilities? Yeah, interesting. Okay, no attacking there. Okay. Gives them all. Island Walk and Indestructible. Sure. I mean, make the block there. I'm taking 6. Brutal. Brutal. Oh. Man, alright, we got Mana Skirt on this one. Gosh, another Memnite. I mean, I make the block, but then I die. What a weird game this one was. Okay, you got it. Merfolk. Was not expecting that. Also, was not expecting to get Mana Skirt. If we could have gotten up to that 4 and then gotten a Winota out, we probably would have been okay. But that Chalice, that didn't seem to be doing very much in that deck. Like, which maybe that's kind of their thinking. I wonder if they run Chalice in there, because their deck looked like all 2-drops. Other than that one, the first guy that we saw. I don't play Merfolk, so I don't even know. Where's Nikachu when you need him? Like, I was not super expecting that. I had not seen that. Okay. 2 Thorn of Amethyst. I go first. No Luris. Let's do it. Whenever it's no Luris, I'm a little more in favor of Thorn of Amethyst. Like, if it's Luris, then Chalice on 1 is amazing. But here they're obviously playing things that are slightly bigger. So, like, if it's natural order, Thorn of Amethyst is pretty good because it's gonna buy me time. Okay, Winota, pretty good. Man, what is this deck doing over here? It's either Thorn or Cogwork. I think just go Thorn. See if I can slow him down without knowing what is going on. It would be nice to get a Scrapper out and then play, like, one of my artifacts. Dragon Rage, okay. That's pretty good. Okay, I think we gotta start scrapping here. Get black mana. 2 life. Yeah. It's also a non-human, which is more important than this guy. Do they got it? Do they got something to deal with him? Bitter Reunion. Okay, interesting. Are we doing a Reanimator here? We are doing Reanimator here. I mean, Thorn's gonna work pretty good then. Okay. I mean, anything that's gonna be, whatchamacallit. This is gonna be like the worst Winota in the world here, but you can't reanimate with just creatures. Okay, making a block. I mean, whatever reanimation spell they have is going to cost them 2 more, and the cheapest one costs 4. So, like, we have a minute here. We have a second, so let's see what we can do. Man. Snaky for 1 and then Cogwork, I think. Just so, let's try to get the best possible... Oh, I should have gone Cogwork first. That was a silly play, because this is going to exile something. Ornithopter? Okay. Okay. Alright, if we can get a land, and we can get that Winota, then we're in pretty good shape. Do I want to try for something? I don't think I do. And this is why this went down to 2 instead of 4, because there are situations more than I'd like where there's something for this guy to do. There's Unburied All Rights. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's the Dragon Range. That is not a land. I mean, let's see who they block, right? Someone's getting in. I need a land. But it's gonna turn into a creature. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If they... Who are they getting out of the graveyard? Galta. Okay. Let's see what we get. Chalice. I don't think Chalice would help us very much here. Yep. Here comes Galta, and let's see what they got in their hand. Luckily, they don't have the mana to give it haste. He's a 12/12. He's big. That's big. That kills everything. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive there. Oh, that game was ours. That hurt so bad. We missed the land drop. We would have won. I'm running 22 lands, but I mean, sometimes it's just not there. Like, we have no drawing. But 22 lands, I should be able to get to 4. Especially when I'm searching. Like, it's 22 lands, and so I'm not drawing. I'm trying to build decks that don't draw a lot because of Bowmaster, but I was searching. I searched up a couple cards, so that's kind of like deck thinning there. Another reason why I want to run that Clue land, because that's going to be one more land that could be a whatchamacallit? A creature that could be searched for. The Scrapyard guy not being able to get lands hurts. I wish he could. He would be pretty phenomenal if he can get lands. Alright, let's do one more game here and let's see what happens. Well, we moved up. We moved up the ranks. Like, we're in platinum now, so we're doing pretty good. No Lurus. I mean, I have a Dahlia. It's not amazing. It's like a Thorn of Amethyst, but worse. Opponent goes first. Let's keep it. I don't love it, but let's keep it. aim to get Thalia out quickly. Once upon a time. I mean, if this is the primetime deck, then this is not a terrible hand against it. What'd they get? Okay. Black green. Green. Grazer. Okay. Sure looks like primetime. Yep. Okay. Chalice on 1 doesn't help us very much as I've learned. I think I go Thalia, right? I think Thalia is the right answer here, because if they have natural order, this buys me a turn. I need to get this dragon. That dragon might be really good, actually. Blossoming Tortoise. Okay. Oh, there goes a natural order. We need... What else is in the graveyard? Anything of interest? Chalice is still looking pretty tempting right there. Mana Confluence Sai? Yeah, we're not really slowing them down at all, and we're not applying any pressure whatsoever. Oh, there's the natural order. Ah! Like I said, we bought ourselves a turn, and we did, but that is not a turn enough. Yeah, this deck is just not very good with this one. I've said it before, if I could add one card, it would definitely be Opposition Agent. There is whatchamacallit. Even Mind Sensor does exist. It is tempting. But yeah, we were not fast enough here to get there. We don't have a Winota, like, they have tons of zombies. I think it's game over. We got... Thanks, Wolf. I mean, I could start pumping out dudes. Ironically, I can get the Goro Goro. Gork, give myself a... Softer? Turn to another color work? Okay. I need to survive a turn or two, and then I just need like the best Winota we've ever seen in our lives, which isn't very good because right now I have one non-human to swing with, so things are not looking super fantastic right now. This guy's fallen out of favor a little bit here. He's not quite getting the job done like I was hoping for. Like, it's cute, some of the stuff that he can do, but that was fun. But something that could slow down this nonsense in this situation would be a lot better. Like something like, I don't even know what it would be. I'm gonna have to think about that because that's the one deck that I cannot seem to beat, and it's still pretty prevalent. So I'm gonna have to think about what I can run to help counteract that if that deck is still all over the place, which it kind of looks like it is. So because I don't have a good answer to that. I can't stop the prime time. Thorn of Amethyst and a Crypt. I kind of don't like this hand. We'll try something different. Okay, Chalice. Here we go. All right. What do I throw back? The Cogwork or the Swarm Saboteur? I don't want to throw back a land, I don't think. I think I throw back the Cogwork. No, throw back the Swarm Saboteur. Because I can get this. This will be turn 2, this will be turn 3, and this will be turn 4, and I'll get something off of the Junkyard Scrapper. We are doing leyline stuff. Awesome. So this is going to be the deck that wants to play that 1 mana cost, so they must have it, so... Or maybe they don't? They mulliganed hard. Do they have it? There's the white. Do they have it? Hit the leyline? Yep. If you're not familiar with this deck was big in Historic, I believe. So yeah, it gets a... whatchamacallit. It gets to do Geist of Saint Draft. And then Saint Traft. And then it just kind of swings with that. So you have a turn 1 Geist, and it usually is enough to win the game. Ironically, if I would have been 1 turn faster, I could have slowed this down. But I went first, so they had it. They had it on their turn 1, so... I'm not totally dead. I'm in pain. That's for sure. But I'm not totally dead. Man, that's not bad. I mean, Scrapper can block the Geist. And all the, like, auras they want to put on this, they can't play? I mean... Do I just go for it with Vinoda next turn? Oh, they don't attack. Jansen. If they take a turn off, I think I take a turn off. Let's see what I can get here. Give me something good. That'll do. I don't think I want to go get anything. Yeah, this guy I'm not super in love with. I had high hopes for him being able to do more interesting, crazy stuff, but this is now multiple times where I've had him on the board and I've chosen not to activate his ability, and that's a sign of it not going well. Do they have a counterspell? Is that what we're looking at here? Let's bait it out. They may not see the interaction that's going to happen here either, so even if they had one, they may not have known to hit it. So it conjures the 2 equipment, which is going to trigger the Junkyard Scrapper twice. Yeah. And now I have a 6/6 on board. I mean, something's holding up priority, so they got something that they can do. I'm just not sure what it is. Okay. Let's see what happens. See what they say about that. What are they going to flash in? Nothing. Okay, here's a situation where what I want to do is get rid of the one that doesn't give it trample. So get rid of the little one. Okay, I mean... that might be pretty good here. I think next turn's Vinoda. Kind of impressive that they had that on turn 1, and I have kind of completely turned the corner here. Whoo-wee. I still think I'm in danger of there being, like, something. I mean, Thorn. Am I being foolish for not playing the Winota? Like, are they gonna explode? I mean, I can play the Jan Jansen. I kind of want that whatchamacallit though. Colorless. Colorless. I know. Thorn? What do you think about that? Okay. Oh right, it's a creature. It's a Thorn creature. Jan Jansen? What could they be? What could be happening here? Their graveyard's useless. Sacrifice an artifact creature. Okay, I got there. I just saw too much blue and white that I was hesitant of what to do, but I think I just overpowered them there, and that was without the Winota because I was holding her back. This guy's on the chopping block. I'm gonna think about this, but the next time we see this deck, this guy may not be in it. I thought he was gonna be super key and clutch, and he's not. There's also something terrible when he turns the Thorn of Amethyst into a creature, because now it can be hit with a Bowmaster. Like, it's cute when you get a Memnite, or you get, like, a Darksteel Citadel, and then you have an indestructible creature. But when you take your artifact, which is incredibly difficult for a lot of decks to deal with, and you turn it into a creature that is then incredibly easy to deal with, that's not super great. So, this boy is on the chopping block. I'm not totally sure what goes here, but let me think about it. Let me do some research and do some pondering of what could go here. Like, something that conjures or generates more tokens would be ideal. Like, it's also the fact that this happens at the end of the turn makes this rough, because it's like, I want to be able to get it and play it immediately, but I can't. So I turn a creature which would be an attacker into a creature that I can't even attack the next turn with. Like, I could play it. Like, I can't even play it this turn. I can play it next turn. I need something that's just, like, spitting out tokens. Like, but I want it to be a creature, because I don't want it to be getting in the way of my own Thorn of Amethyst and Thalia. So I need a 2-mana creature that makes, preferably a 2-mana artifact creature that makes artifact creatures. I don't know if such a thing exists. Like, we could do Bowmaster, obviously, because that would be pretty great. But, or even something that made tokens. Like, maybe I go up at Jan Jansen. Like, we didn't get to see him do anything here, but he's a ramp spell. Like, if this thing was spitting out maps, clues, like, maybe this is where the murders are Markov. Maybe something goes here. If there's something that spits out a clue every turn that costs 2, that's a creature. I mean, there is the one that whenever a creature dies, investigate. I'm pretty sure that's only if it's your creature, though. Let me do some research. But if you could think of anything and you've made it this far in the video, then leave me a comment below. But I think this boy is about to be chopped off. And I'm going to see what I can find, particularly in the new set, because it comes out in just a couple days. So we can swap something in soon before this season is over. But we did good. We moved up into Platinum, and we're making our way up the ladder. So I'm going to keep going with this deck. I'll make some changes, and thanks for watching. Have a good night or day or whatever time. It's 3 o'clock in the morning where I am, so I'm going to sleep. Have a good night. Bye.